You're lying in bed at night, trying to get comfortable, but you can't. Your feet feel like blocks of ice, even though the room is warm. Or maybe you've been sitting in your favorite chair for an hour, and when you stand up, your legs feel heavy, like they are made of lead. You take a few steps, and a dull, cramping pain grips your calf. You stop, you wait for it to pass, and you think to yourself, "I'm just getting old. This is just what happens after 60. I need you to listen to me very carefully. That heavy feeling, that coldness, that cramping pain when you walk, that is not just aging. That is your body screaming at you. It is a warning sign that the highways of your body, your arteries and veins, are becoming blocked, stiff, and narrow. Poor circulation in the legs is one of the most dangerous yet overlooked health issues facing seniors today. It starts with cold toes, but if you ignore it, it leads to varicose veins, deep vein thrombosis, non-healing ulcers, and in severe cases, it is a direct precursor to heart attacks and stroke. Your legs are the furthest point from your heart. If the blood can't get down there and back up efficiently, it means your entire cardiovascular system is struggling. But here's the good news. Your arteries are not copper pipes. They are living tissue. They can heal, they can relax, they can be cleaned out. And while medication has its place, nature has provided us with 4 specific powerhouses, 4 vitamins that are proven to unclog blood flow, strengthen the artery walls, and get that life-giving oxygen back to your toes. In this video, we are going deep. We aren't just skimming the surface. I am going to explain exactly why your legs feel this way, and I'm going to give you the exact nutritional protocol, the 4 essential vitamins that can restore your circulation. If you want to keep walking, dancing, and living independently well into your 80s and 90s, you need to master these 4 nutrients. Let's start by understanding the enemy. What is actually clogging your legs? It's usually a condition called peripheral artery disease, or PAD. Over time, plaque builds up in the arteries. But it's not just plaque, it's calcification. The walls of your arteries turn from flexible rubber hoses into stiff, hard pipes. When they stiffen, they can't expand to let blood through. At the same time, the tiny capillaries, the little side streets, begin to die off. This creates a traffic jam. The blood gets stuck, fluid leaks out, causing swelling, and your nerves start to suffocate, causing that tingling and pain. So how do we fix the pipes? We start with vitamin number 1, the great Widener. This is vitamin B3, specifically in the form of niacin. Niacin is a legend in the cardiac world, but it is often misunderstood. Think of your arteries like a garden hose. If you put your thumb over the end, the pressure builds up, but the flow is restricted. Niacin takes your thumb off the hose. It is a powerful vasodilator. That means it physically relaxes the smooth muscle cells in your artery walls, causing the vessel to open up wider. When the vessel opens, resistance drops. Blood rushes in like a river breaking a dam. This is why niacin is so effective for people with cold hands and feet. It forces the small capillaries in the extremities to expand. But niacin does something else incredible for seniors. It changes the composition of the fats in your blood. You've heard of LDL and HDL cholesterol. Niacin is one of the few natural substances that significantly raises HDL, the good cholesterol. Why does this matter for your legs? Because HDL is like a garbage truck. It travels through your arteries, scoops up the excess plaque, and carries it back to the liver to be disposed of. It literally helps scrub the walls of your leg arteries. Now, a critical note on taking niacin. If you take real nicotinic acid, you might experience the niacin flush. Your skin might turn red, warm, and tingly for about 20 minutes. Many people hate this, but I want you to reframe it. That flush, that is visual proof that your capillaries are opening up. It is literally blood flow rushing to the surface of your skin. It shows you it's working. However, if you cannot tolerate the flush, there is inositol hexanicotinate, a no-flush version. though many experts argue the flush version is more potent for circulation. You can also find B3 in foods, chicken breast, tuna, turkey, and liver, but to get the therapeutic vessel-opening effect, supplementation is often necessary for those with established circulation issues. Now let's move to vitamin number 3. This is, in my opinion, the most critical vitamin for anyone over the age of 60 who is worried about clots and calcification. This is the traffic controller, vitamin K2. Please do not confuse this with vitamin K1. K1 is found in spinach and kale, and it helps your blood clot so you don't bleed to death from a paper cut. K2 is different. K2 is about calcium management.
Here is the calcium paradox that hurts so many seniors. You are told to take calcium for your bones to prevent osteoporosis, but at the same time, your arteries are turning to stone because of calcification. You have calcium in your arteries where you don't want it, and not enough in your bones where you do want it. Vitamin K2 is the shuttle bus driver. Its job is to activate a specific protein called matrix GLA protein, or MGP. This protein acts like a claw. It grabs calcium out of the soft tissues, out of your arteries, out of your joints, out of your veins, and physically carries it into the bone matrix. If you are deficient in K2, the calcium you eat has nowhere to go. It settles in the artery walls of your legs. This makes the arteries hard and rigid. Hard arteries cannot pump blood efficiently. This leads to high blood pressure in the legs and poor circulation. By taking vitamin K2, specifically in the form of MK7, which is the long-lasting version, you can actually stop and even potentially reverse arterial calcification. You are essentially descaling the pipes. You are taking the limestone out of the hose so it can be flexible again. This is vital for preventing varicose veins as well. Varicose veins happen when the walls of the veins lose their elasticity. K2 helps maintain that elastin. Where do you get K2? It is hard to find in the modern Western diet. It is found in fermented foods like natto, a Japanese soy dish, heavy aged cheeses like Gouda and Brie, goose liver, and egg yolks. Because it is so rare in our diet, this is one vitamin where supplementation is almost always recommended for the senior population. And finally, vitamin number 4, the blood smoother, vitamin E. If you have poor circulation, your blood tends to be sticky. Platelets clump together easily. When blood is thick and sticky, it moves slowly. It's like trying to pump molasses through a straw instead of water. This sluggish movement is what leads to deep vein thrombosis, dangerous clots that form in the legs. Vitamin E is a natural, mild anticoagulant. It keeps the platelets from getting too sticky. It acts as a lubricant for your blood cells. But it does something else fascinating. It changes the flexibility of the red blood cell itself. Red blood cells have to squeeze through tiny, microscopic capillaries to deliver oxygen to your toes. Sometimes the capillary is smaller than the blood cell. The cell has to squish and fold to get through. If your cell membranes are stiff, they get stuck. Vitamin E integrates into the cell membrane, making it soft and pliable. This allows your blood to flow into the deepest, furthest microvessels in your feet. Warning, because vitamin E thins the blood, if you are already on prescription blood thinners like warfarin or Eliquis, you must talk to your doctor before adding this. You do not want your blood to be too thin. But for those not on blood thinners, vitamin E is a circulation game changer. But here's the catch. Most vitamin E supplements are garbage. They only contain alpha tocopherol. In nature, vitamin E is a family of 8 compounds, 4 tocopherols and 4 tocotrienols.
For cardiovascular health, the tocotrienols are the superstars. They are 50 times more powerful as antioxidants than tocopherols. When you buy vitamin E, look for mixed tocopherols and tocotrienols. This ensures you are getting the full spectrum that nature intended. So, we have the 4 pillars: B3, niacin, to widen the vessel; vitamin C, to repair and strengthen the wall; vitamin K2, to remove the calcium buildup; and vitamin E, to smooth and thin the blood. But I want to give you a realistic picture of how to use this. You can't just pop these pills and sit on the couch for 12 hours a day. Vitamins are the fuel, but movement is the engine. Your legs have a second heart. Did you know that? It's your calf muscle, the soleus and gastrocnemius muscles. Every time you take a step, that muscle contracts and squeezes the deep veins in your leg, shooting blood back up to your heart against gravity. If you don't walk, that pump doesn't work. The blood pools. It stagnates. So here's your action plan starting today. First, clean up the diet. Add the citrus, the peppers, the leafy greens for K1, which converts slightly to K2, and healthy fats for vitamin E absorption. Second, consider the supplementation protocol we discussed, specifically looking at the quality of K2 and the type of niacin. Third, hydration. Blood is mostly water. If you are dehydrated, your blood volume drops and it gets thicker. Drink a glass of water with a pinch of sea salt every morning to keep your blood volume up. Fourth, elevation. In the evening, lie on the floor and put your legs up on the couch or against the wall for 15 minutes. Let gravity help you drain that old, deoxygenated blood out of your legs so fresh blood can enter. And finally, watch for the warning signs. If you see your skin becoming shiny and hairless on your shins, or if you have toenails that become thick and brittle, or if you have a sore on your foot that won't heal after 2 weeks, these are not cosmetic issues. These are medical emergencies indicating critical lack of blood flow. Do not wait. Your body is incredibly resilient. I have seen patients in their 70s improve their walking distance, reduce their pain, and warm up their feet just by correcting these nutritional deficiencies and getting moving. You are not destined to a life of immobility. The power to unclog your system is in your hands and in your diet. Start with one change today. Maybe it's the vitamin C. Maybe it's the 10-minute walk. But start. Your legs have carried you this far in life. It's time you returned the favor and took care of them.